Cost of living crisis.
Cost of living crisis.
Cost of living crisis.
Cost of living.
Across the country, the cost of living crisis is climbing. Every trip to the supermarket has become more expensive. Families are being forced to choose between the brands that they trust and the knockoffs that they hope are good enough. But here lies a question that no one has dared to answer.
Can knockoff food really compare to the real stuff? There's only one way to find out.
So here I have some popular brands of snacks. I also have the cheaper knockoffs. We're going to be putting them head to head.
Let's test them out and see how they compare to the originals. Whether or not they're worth it, whether or not you should put in the extra money to get the real stuff, or you should just go with the fakes.
And so that I can reach a fair conclusion, I'm going to be blindfolding myself whilst testing these products. Now to start off, we're first going to be testing Coca-Cola and its knockoff, which is called Freeway. So up first we have the real bottle of Coca-Cola.
Okay, that should do the trick.
This was my first impression of the knockoff version.
Alright. Oh, no. We don't need that to happen. I squirted everywhere.
I was not expecting this to happen.
Alright, that should be enough. So now it's time to finally find out which one tastes better. We got the real one, we got the fake. Off the bat, I'm liking the taste of this one, I'll be so real. That tastes nice. I think I already know what the answer is, but let's see.
I tried this one and I knew instantly that it was the knockoff.
I'm gonna be so real. This is the real Coca-Cola and this is the fake little knockoff. I can tell. I'm gonna take my blindfold off. And I guessed correctly. I'd say the difference in them isn't that much. The only reason I could tell that this was the fake one is because of the fizz. This one was a lot more fizzy. I guess this one wasn't as fizzy because all the fizz was let out all over me. Taste-wise, they taste exactly the same. The only difference is the knockoff one is more flat.
However, for 49p versus £2.55, you could buy 5 of the knockoff Coca-Colas and still have 10p left. So which one would you guys pick? Let me know in the comments below.
Okay guys, next up we have the real Oreo and we have Neo, which is Lidl's knockoff.
So let's put my blindfold back on. Let's switch them around so I don't know which one's which.
Here we go. I have no clue which is the real, which is the fake now. I'm gonna take a bite out of half of them. Let's start with this one. That tastes like a real Oreo biscuit. If that is the fake one, that is genuinely insane. Anyways, let's take a bite out of this one and find out. If they taste identical, then I'm mind blown. They aren't identical. The first one I ate was a lot more sweeter. I'm really hoping that that is Oreo, because if Lidl have outdone Oreo and it's cheaper, I'm speechless. Again, let's find out. Ah, no, okay, this was the actual Oreo. I was gonna say, if this was the fake knockoff, Lidl have really done it. But okay, this is the real Oreo. They are very similar in aftertaste, but the initial taste when you put it in your mouth, pause, the real Oreo is a bit more sweeter. And that's the only thing I can say. Other than that, they're identical.
The knockoff Oreo was £1.19 for 20 biscuits. This works out at 6p per biscuit. The real Oreo was £2 for 28 biscuits. This works out at 7p per biscuit. So money-wise, there's practically no difference. So this begs the question,
is it worth getting the fake ones or would you guys get the real ones? Let me know.
The fact that they almost equal to the same price is kind of shocking. But you know what's even more shocking? The fact that you're still watching this video and you haven't subscribed.
All right, next we have Mars bars versus the knockoff caramel bars. All right, that is my blindfold on.
Underneath the wrapper, these two bars look exactly the same. I mean, later on, I couldn't even tell which was which.
They're relatively like the same size. I actually can't tell what's what right now. They feel the same as well. But anyways, guys, let's start with the first one. That is nice. And the way it's melting in my mouth right now, I like the taste of this. If you told me this was a real Mars bar, I'd believe you. All right, let's try the second one. We'll figure out which one tastes better. The first one, again, is a lot more sweeter, but the second one is a lot more dense in chocolate, if that makes sense. Like when I bit into it, you could feel the chocolate more. Okay, this is a hard one now, because I really don't know. I'm gonna take another bite out of each.
But the question is it concerning that I can't tell the two apart?
I'm gonna say this one's the real one, just because this one is so thick. This one's like a lot more creamy, so I'm gonna say this is the real one. I hope that I'm correct. Let's take my blindfold off.
Oh. But even after removing my blindfold, I still couldn't tell apart which was the real and which was the fake. I had to open another wrapper of each just to confirm which was which.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. So the one that I said was better is the fake one. Wow. Lidl, you have outdone Mars bars. That is crazy. The knockoff genuinely tastes better than the real one.
The real Mars bar was £1.89 and you only get 4 bars in a pack. This works out at 47p per bar. The knockoff Mars bar was £1.39 and you get 6 bars in a pack. This works out at 23p per bar, which means the knockoff is half the price of Mars bars. I know which one I'm picking.
Okay, it's time to try out the knockoff Pringles versus the real ones. All right, we're gonna do a little switcheroo. Oh,
Once again, I'm mixing the items around so that I forget which one's the real and which one's the fake, in order to have a fair test.
all right, do you guys believe me that I can't tell which is which? Obviously you guys know, but I don't know. Let's take a test out of the first one and we'll see. These ones smell kind of bland, like there's not much flavor to them. They taste kind of bland as well. Let me try these ones and we'll see. This is the fake one. That is so obvious though. I'm not gonna say that's poor from Lidl because they've done well on the other items, but this has no flavor to it and I can't believe they're selling this. That is so evident that this is the knockoff one. This has no flavor whatsoever. This one's a lot more strong, a lot more salty. It tastes so much better. And let's see if I'm correct. Fuck off.
I just want to clarify quickly, this is not fake. I genuinely thought that the real Pringles were the knockoffs.
There's no way. There's no way, you're trolling. I was so confident as well. There's no way that this is the real one. Wow. Wow. It looks like Lidl takes the crown. Wow, I really thought this was the knockoff one because it had so much less flavor.
When I first bought these, I saw that the knockoff was £1.25 and the real Pringles was £1.69.
I thought that's a rip-off for a knockoff product, isn't it? Like, that's a little bit expensive. But the fact that these taste better, I take it all back. Lidl, you have done it again.
So far, Lidl is beating most of these companies at their own product. These companies need to be ashamed.
Okay, guys. Now we have Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie. And by the way, I can't believe how expensive this is. This was £3.99. This hurt my bank account buying this.
Meanwhile, the knockoff version was only £1.99. It makes you question, why is the real one double the price?
Maybe we'll find out.
So once again, let's mix them up for a fair test.
I'm all mixed up and I have no clue which is the real, which is the fake.
Straight away, I love the taste of this. This tasted perfect.
Ooh, I like the taste of that. That tastes really nice. That tastes really nice.
At this point, the bar was really high, so how could this possibly taste any better?
Oh, that is so close. Let me try that again.
But the fact I couldn't tell apart a £2 knockoff from a £4 original Ben & Jerry's, again, makes you question.
Let me find out which is the real, because I actually don't know. Okay. You know, I'd love to give it to Ben & Jerry's and say, oh, there's a massive difference. But I'm not gonna lie, they're exactly the same. And there is definitely no difference for this to be £2 more than this one.
So, comment down below what you think the reason for this is.
Okay, my final verdict. Lidl is taking the crown here. I'm not gonna lie. Lidl is taking the crown. The fact that their items are cheaper and you get more quantity and they taste exactly the same, if not better, how could I not give it to Lidl? Guys, comment down below your thoughts and your opinions, whether or not you'd go for the knockoffs or would you go for the real items? Let me know. I'm interested. Me personally, I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of knockoff shopping from now on.